world number 1 Luke Humphries. And today the day as well when Josh Rock will begin his title defence, having claimed the honours 12 months ago. Damon Heta, one of the top 10 players in action over the course of this afternoon's session. The world number 10, the number 5 seed this weekend, looking to win another title in Rosmalen this year. And Jeffrey Sparidaans off to an absolute flyer on home soil. Damon Heta, a champion on the Pro Tour in the Players' Championship in this venue not too long ago. Will he have more success this weekend? Paul Nicholson alongside me, Rob Malarkey, for our opening match of the day. And yeah, these two have set the tone very nicely, Paul.
They have indeed. Very good afternoon to everybody tuning in. This is a great beginning to what could be a very exciting day. Last night was just off the charts with so many Dutch participants. But now we crank it up a notch. That means the shot is off.
Yeah, single 15 to leave 117, so can just set this up to leave himself a shot at tops. But Sparidaans, well, yesterday started off with a 14 dart break. Today starts off with an 11 dart break of throw. 3 darts better off than he was against Andrew Gilding in a 6-2 win on day 1. And that will do very nicely.
If he gets a bit of confidence today, there's no telling what Jeffrey could possibly do. He's a home nation qualifier. He's not even got a tour card at the minute. But he is the Dutch Open champion. He's on home turf and he's got the 4th dart behind him. Great atmosphere last night, like we mentioned, but during the 2 walk-ons to start Saturday, Damon Heta really brought the noise, as did everybody who's decided to attend today, all 4,000 of them. And I do think, Rob, if aliens landed on Earth, and this is where they landed, they'd be thinking, what are you guys doing? But this is brilliant. This has been one of the best European Tour events I can remember. It's only day 2.
Yeah, very lively crowd who will certainly play their part today in one way or another, I suspect. I think Damon Heta just about won the walk-on, but will he win the match?
I love that. He won the walk-on.
Won't get any ranking money for that, but he's a man who has picked up 10 individual titles now to his name, as well as that World Cup success a few years ago, 2022, for Australia, of course. But yeah, reached double figures last month in Rosmalen in Players' Championship 13, beat Nathan Aspinall 8-6 in the final. And that was 8 months after his previous success. Let's see if Sparidaans can take out this, well, 91 now, gets the 17s. Can't find the double 20.
I tell you what, if Jeffrey hit tops there, Damon would have been 2-0 down, averaging 117. Great shot. And 117 is a very apt number for the Heat, because that's his personal best on the European Tour from last year in Sindelfingen. And he will be desperate to get a first European Tour title. And he wouldn't mind doing it in the same country as the only Australian to win a European Tour event. That was back in 2012, Simon Whitlock.
Yeah. Might be a few parallels for Heta, but yeah, just going back to that success that he had recently, I mean, that came 8 months after his last success. I think there was an element of relief about Heta that he was back in the winner's circle once again, but it was interesting afterwards listening to him speak to PDC that he said, you know, I've been working on a few things with his setup, and he says he's looking for these incremental 1% increases in any sort of advantage that he can get to take his game to the next level, which I thought was a very mature, very measured response.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people out there who are huge fans of Damon. I'm one of them, because I think he does things that other dart players don't even think of.
Bang on cue, though. He's left himself 168 here, so we'll just ignore that for a moment.
Yeah, we will.
But yeah, the sentiment was there, and I think he's absolutely right, and I think it shows that he's not resting on his laurels, and he doesn't want to wait another 8 months for the next title. And yeah, I think he's got clearly the game and the skill and the temperament as well to manage one of these European Tour weekends. He's won a European Tour title in the past, but he would like to be back in the winner's circle once again.
He's still the Gibraltar Darts Trophy champion.
He still is.
He might be forever.
That will take some time.
85, W143.
Well, 2 breaks of throws so far. Can Sparidaans make it 3 out of 3? No, he can't.
Damon's biggest strength is combinations ending in the bottom left of the board. And if that works, Jeffrey's in real trouble.
Yeah, I was impressed with Sparidaans yesterday, though. He was up against Andrew Gilding, who you never really know what Andrew Gilding's going to turn up at any given event. But I thought Sparidaans managed it really well. Got that early break, 14 dart breaker throw, and I've got to say, never really looks under any significant pressure after that. But of course, he would have been, and he would have been conscious of the need to keep himself in the ascendancy. But yeah, I thought he managed the situation really nicely.
I think Jeffrey did a great job yesterday, because obviously Andrew was having an off day, and we all have them. But I think Sparidaans was putting himself under pressure yesterday because of where he's playing this weekend. He looks more relaxed today.
121.
And that's why he's averaging a good 10 points better already than his performance on Friday.
140.
Well, Heta has £14,000 on the European Order of Merit so far this year. Quarter-finalist in Graz, but he lost his opener in Göttingen, Munich and also Sindelfingen, so no ranking money for those 3 events. Gets the prize money, but nothing on his ranking. That's why he's relatively low down. So that's something else to address this weekend, but Sparidaans needs this 114 to stay in touch, really, you feel. Gets the single 14. That was the easy bit. Back upstairs. Nicely done, 114 checkout, and he was under pressure there as well, because Heta was lurking on 68. But it's 1 break apiece, 1 hold apiece. On we go, 2-all.
5 Dutch players taking part this weekend. It was supposed to be 6. He would love to be part of tomorrow. Unfortunately, MVG's not going to be in this tournament. It has broken in the last hour that he is not taking part.
Which will be naturally a big disappointment to the 4,000 or so expected this evening. And yeah, he cited personal reasons, but MVG won't be here. So the good news for somebody, i.e. Mickey Mansell, is that he will receive a bye into the last 16 tomorrow.
I think Mansell would have been looking forward to that game. Imagine playing MVG here in front of his fans. It would have been an amazing atmosphere, but Mansell now has the day off.
Day off, extra prize money, extra ranking money, and a step up the European Order of Merit as well, and
absolutely,
yeah, swelling other ranking money tables as well.
Could have a profound effect, that amount of money, come the end of the season.
Absolutely, could make a big difference.
Well, Damon is averaging 104 pretty much here, and he's on 82 for a 3-2 lead.
17 for tops here for Heta for a 3-2 lead. And again, taking care of business very nicely. Crowd silenced by that one. Heta just getting on with his business here.
I've actually forgotten what Damon Heta looks like without the moustache now. It is just part of what he is.
Yeah, I was just trying to think. I mean, he started off for November one year, didn't he? And then it just stayed with him. So when he made his European Tour debut, he didn't have a tash at all, did he? I don't think. No. And that was in Hasselt in 2020, right at the start of the COVID era, the COVID season that punctuated, well, not just the darting calendar, but everything else.
It's a very Australian thing to have a handlebar. You could liken yourself to Merv Hughes or David Boone.
Yeah, David Boone for me. Well, Sparidaans gets the crowd vocalised once again. He's not on a finish, but I think he just needed something like that. I don't think he's too concerned about setting up opportunities. I think it was just about injecting himself with some adrenaline here.
Yeah, I think what he's doing, Rob, is he's just reminding Damon Heta that this game is not going to be simple. He might have a 3-2 lead, but I'm still here and I'm still very dangerous.
Well, there's another parallel as well. Started off with a breaker throw yesterday, as he did today. And he also took out a 66 checkout at a pretty crucial stage of the match against Gilding. Let's see if he can find a way through here. Double 16 once again. Yes, he can. Route 66 to glory for Sparidaans once more. 3 apiece. And this game is just ticking over nicely. And it's just starting to reach a bit of a climax into the second half of this one now. We had, by the way, 7 matches go the distance yesterday, and on the evidence of what we've seen so far, Paul, this one might well require 11 legs as well.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I would actually really love a lot of last leg deciders today, because some of those last night were so exciting, especially the Crutchmer game.
Yeah, there were 4 on the spin last night. It was quite a late finish in the end. We did have one whitewash yesterday. That was Dirk van Dijvenbode against Teemu Harju of Finland. But there were some really good battles pretty much right throughout the day yesterday. And this is looking like it's going to be another one.
Well, Damo's just given that third dart the daggers. He can't believe he got that kind of deflection. Fortunately for him, it hasn't cost him too much. He's still in control of leg 7. Yesterday's first game with Pietreczko and Sedlacek, that was a good encounter. Lots of quality from Ricardo.
Yeah.
And this one is a little bit better than that.
Talked about Sparidaans' approach play earlier. Now he's on 2-6-2 here, so with Heta on 1-2-4. Yeah, well, he went for it, filled it up. Leaves himself a shot at 82, but can Heta find this treble 18? No, he can't, and Sparidaans will return, and I tell you what, this would be an excellent time to break.
It really would. He's got all the maximums in this game, all 3 of them. Has he got 40 more?
62.
Well, that just fell short.
68.
It's a let off a Damo. He desperately needs this to get control back. That is superb.
Damon Heta.
And listen to that at the Autotron. Silence with that 68 out.
Well, that is such a clutch visit, isn't it, from Damon Heta, and little wonder he celebrated it in the manner that he did, because that was such a gutsy piece of play from Heta. 16 for double 16, knowing full well that Sparidaans was all set to return, looking at double 10, having missed a dart at double 20. One of those legs that might just dictate the balance of power in this one now. Crucially for Heta, having thrown first and got the break back straight away, he's now in control once again, and he's 2 legs away. And yeah, Sparidaans is going to have to make his move sooner or later.
125.
Easy for us to sit here and say that he might need the help of the crowd, but at the minute, Damon's doing a good enough job to keep them on the back foot. But yeah, Sparidaans has done really well over the last few legs when he's thrown first to get himself back into the contest.
Yeah, I mean, Sparidaans, I think, is playing well. He's not doing a lot wrong, but yeah, I think he just needs to give the crowd a little bit more. It sounds harsh, but there's another derailer.
It's a pretty decent recovery, but he's staring at his opponent now down the barrel of a 1-1-3. This could be crucial. It's another brilliant finish. And did he enjoy that? Oh yeah, he did. Averaging 100 now, and like you say, Rob, Jeffrey hasn't done a great deal wrong, but the mistakes he has made, he has been punished.
Yeah, well, the 68 checkout for 4-3 was, as I said, gutsy, but that 1-1-3, there was just a touch of flamboyance about that, and he liked it. And I think it came because he was in that position, having got the 4-3 lead. He just had that little bit of extra breathing space, didn't need to be too panic-ridden if it didn't work out for him. Just had that extra degree of comfort behind him, and it's worked out nicely. And all of a sudden, Damon Heta is 1 away from the match, and he's throwing first as well for it.
81.
He would love to go one better than 2023. He made the semi-finals that year, lost out to Luke Humphries. Yeah, prior to that, he lost out in the last 16 of this tournament to Michael Smith, who averaged 111.1 against him. Sets up a match-winning checkout, trying to break the heart of Jeffrey, who doesn't want this experience to end, but it looks like it's going to in 9 legs.
Well, Damon Heta was a semi-finalist in this tournament a couple of years ago, and he'll be harbouring similar ambitions once again. 70 points away
60. Damon, you require 7.
from a passage into the third round action tomorrow. And that leaves double 16, which has been effective so far today, and it's effective once again. And Damon Heta just producing that burst of energy towards the end. A 3-leg bounce there for Damon Heta to take control of that one. A 100.06 average for good measure. And a man who won in Rosmalen on the Players' Championship circuit in the middle of April is doing the business once again in Rosmalen on the European Tour. Sparidaans, I think, can head home with his head held high after that one, because it was a good performance over the course of the 2 days. Not quite enough today, though, however. Heta wins it 6-3.